Inside the boat of Mausoleum, Luo Feng, primal chaos city leader, and deserted mirror master watched the terrifying shockwaves caused when the gigantic humanoid lifeform collided with the universe boat. Even from 500 million light-years away, the impact was overwhelming, and they feared no being in universe ocean could survive at the collision center. The humanoid figure crashed into the universe boat at 120 million times light speed, sending the ancient ship tumbling. Although fragments broke off its damaged surface, the ship itself remained unharmed and its internal mechanisms continued operating. After slowing down, the humanoid figure struck the universe boat a second time, causing both objects to fly apart. Its speed dropped from over 120 million times light speed to less than 20 million. Then eventually to only 300.000 times light speed as chaotic airflow continuously slowed it further. When the universe boat finally stopped, the experts saw that despite the violent collisions, its surface had no dents at all. Primal Chaos City leader marveled at how mysterious universe ocean was and how unimaginable the force that originally damaged the universe boat must have been. The major powers of universe ocean, including the Han Alliance, chased after the humanoid figure as it continued slowing. Within days, its speed dropped below 10.000 times light speed, making it far less dangerous. At the same time, in the Ancestral God School, the three ancestral gods received orders from the primal universe's willpower about an approaching crisis and the fourth most dangerous land. So they departed for universe ocean. Luo Feng then controlled the boat of Mausoleum and landed it on the humanoid figure's enormous body, which was 160 million light-years tall. The experts first mistook the wrinkles on its surface for endless mountain ranges. But Primal Chaos City leader deduced they were actually folds in the clothing or armor worn by the life form. He suggested heading toward the head of the humanoid figure, believing there might be an entrance there. The giant object's head was enormous, with many true treasure palaces gathered on top of it. Nearly 90% of the great beings in universe ocean had gathered around the head, believing the giant crack between its closed lips was the mouth. The abyss-like crack was 1.9 million light-years long and up to 120.000 light-years wide, large enough to contain 10 Milky Way galaxies. Even Luo Feng's domain true treasure could only inspect a small portion of it. As streaks of light rushed into the abyss, all the major powers hurried to send universe masters with multiple bodies to investigate first. Since they feared the unknown dangers, the Han Alliance also prepared to explore. Primal Chaos City leader explained that the giant head had three main entrances: the ears, nostrils, and the crack between the lips. Since nobody knew where the valuables might be hidden, they decided to test all routes separately. 8 universe masters from the Han Alliance volunteered, including Luo Feng. Primal Chaos City leader warned them to be cautious and to record their routes so other Han Alliance members could learn from them later. The boat of Mausoleum opened, and the explorers departed. Inside a black oval-shaped palace, Luo Feng's Mosha body prepared for exploration. Normally, Luo Feng only traveled with his golden-horned beast body and earthling original body. But for this mission, he created a new Mosha body specifically for scouting. Its life gene level was 5.000 times, though its godly power was tiny compared to the golden-horned beast body. The Mosha body carried ordinary pinnacle true treasures, including armor and a blade obtained during Luo Feng's long journeys through universe ocean. Luo Feng drove the Black Palace forward by repeated short-distance teleportation while documenting the route. Meanwhile, elsewhere in universe ocean, the three ancestral gods discussed the situation. They knew from the original mind that this giant object was the terrifying fourth land of Extremis. Although they understood the danger, they were forbidden from revealing the secret to others. Eventually, the giant humanoid object completely stopped moving within the chaos air. Many great beings outside tried to claim ownership of the giant armor covering the object, believing it might be a valuable capable of recognizing a master. However, all attempts failed. The armor behaved like a simple decoration and could not be damaged in any way. Luo Feng entered through the crack between the lips and advanced rapidly through endless darkness. After traveling over 10 million light-years, he discovered that the abyss inside seemed boundless. Eventually, he realized the path ahead ended, forcing him to descend deeper into the giant object. While descending, Luo Feng detected an area that even his domain true treasure could not inspect. Excited, He approached carefully and eventually discovered a gigantic natural wormhole with immense twisting energy. The wormhole was far larger than any he had seen in Universe Ocean or the original universe. Luo Feng understood that only universe masters or stronger beings could survive entering it. However, because nobody knew what dangers existed on the other side of natural wormholes inside dangerous lands, he chose to avoid it and continue deeper. For 15 days, Luo Feng continued teleporting through the seemingly endless abyss. Unlike the other 3 lands of Extremis, this place appeared strangely safe. With no obvious dangers and unrestricted teleportation, Luo Feng began losing patience because nothing unusual appeared. Suddenly, a freezing breeze silently swept through the abyss. Even Luo Feng's domain true treasure failed to detect it. The breeze passed through the black oval-shaped palace, instantly reducing the true treasure palace into dust that scattered and vanished completely. Inside, Moshe Luo Feng only felt a sudden coldness before his godly power froze entirely. His armor, blade, body, and all his treasures crumbled into dust and disintegrated into nothingness. The abyss remained silent and calm as if nothing had happened. There was still no visible danger. Yet Moshe Luo Feng and the true treasure palace had been completely erased without resistance. Inside the boat of Mausoleum, Luo Feng was shocked after discovering that the Moshe body he had sent into the giant object had died instantly. He explained to Primal Chaos City leader that he could not even detect the attack. His domain-type true treasure could inspect the entire area. Yet a mysterious wind appeared without warning and instantly destroyed both his pinnacle true treasure palace and his Moshe body, leaving no chance to resist. Primal Chaos City leader was alarmed, realizing that if even pinnacle true treasure palaces could not survive, then almost nobody could safely explore the giant object unless they possessed a supreme true treasure. 8 universe masters from the Han Alliance had entered the giant object to search. Luo Feng was the first to die. Over the following 10 days, the remaining 7 universe masters also died one after another. Different deadly forces appeared without warning, including invisible wind, fire, mist, and water. These forces instantly destroyed pinnacle true treasure palaces and killed the universe masters inside. One universe master encountered water that froze time and space, preventing teleportation or escape before eroding the palace and killing him. Primal Chaos City leader informed everyone that the Han Alliance was not alone in suffering losses. Great beings from other powers who entered the endless abyss inside the giant object also died after being attacked by mysterious forces. Even supreme true treasure palaces were destroyed. He revealed that a skeleton race expert from the first universe era had entered with a supreme true treasure palace, only for fire to instantly burn the palace apart. All the great beings were terrified because even supreme true treasures could not resist the attacks. Nobody who entered had survived, making the death rate even more terrifying than the 3 lands of Extremis. Primal Chaos City leader then revealed new information. Several powers from the first universe era had entered a natural wormhole found inside the endless abyss. Luo Feng had also discovered this wormhole earlier but did not dare enter it. The wormhole led to a mysterious region filled with chaos air containing a miniature universe. The great beings from the first universe era attempted to enter the miniature universe using machine puppets and even their own bodies. But anyone who touched the membrane of the miniature universe was annihilated instantly. Everyone was shocked because normally a universe membrane could not directly attack. Only the power of the universe origin inside a miniature universe could be used offensively. The fact that the membrane itself could kill was unbelievable. No matter what methods the powers of Universe Ocean used, everyone who attempted to enter the miniature universe died. The absolute death rate intimidated all forces. Soon afterward, news spread that the 3 ancestral gods were summoning all powers in Universe Ocean to deliver a message from the original mind. This shocked everyone because the ancestral gods from the original universe had never before entered Universe Ocean. The boat of Mausoleum also traveled to the gathering place. Luo Feng wondered why the ancestral gods had appeared, while Primal Chaos City leader stated that there must be an important reason behind it. When they arrived, Luo Feng saw the 3 ancestral gods standing in space, wearing white capes shining with colorful light. Their force controlled the surrounding space and time, making them appear even more powerful than Universe Supreme Masters. Primal Chaos City leader reminded everyone that the ancestral gods represented the original mind and that their power came directly from it. As more great beings gathered, The central ancestral god announced that all powers from the three universe eras and the two holy lands had arrived. He explained that the original mind had sent them because of the giant object. The ancestral god pointed at the giant object and revealed that inside it was a natural wormhole leading to another place containing a miniature universe called the World of Jyn. He stated that the World of Jyn was the only place inside the giant object where beings could survive. The three ancestral gods, empowered by the primal universe origin's willpower, revealed that the World of Jyn was a special miniature universe that normally would never be born, but had now undergone a proper birth, signaling a unique era in universe ocean. Its membrane wall periodically changed strength. Black meant strongest, white weakest, and only when white could ordinary universe masters enter. They explained that the World of Jyn contained endless dangers and opportunities, living souls that could not survive outside it, and the secret to transcending reincarnation. However, any knowledge gained there could not be revealed outside due to an invisible law. They also warned that the World of Jyn was even more dangerous than the other three dangerous lands. After confirming the route was safe, many powers prepared to explore it. Luo Feng decided to enter despite the risks but split his forces to avoid losing all his treasures at once. His Mosha body returned to the primal universe carrying Shi Wu wings and star tower, while his original body and golden-horned beast headed toward the World of Jyn with Blood Ghost Blade and the Boat of Mausoleum. More than 200 great beings gathered outside the World of Jyn, waiting for its membrane wall to turn white before entering. Meanwhile, sitting mountain guest secretly appeared near the giant humanoid life form nobody else had noticed him observing. He carefully inspected the figure and its damaged armor, then became emotional, laughing bitterly and shedding golden tears. He recognized it as the World of Jyn, questioned why the primal universe Origin still remembered the name Jyn, declared he would not repeat teacher Origin's mistakes, and finally vanished into the void space. After 1.800 years, the membrane surrounding the miniature universe known as the World of Jyn gradually changed from dark blue to light blue, then finally turned white, signaling that entry was possible. More than 200 great beings gathered outside and tested the membrane with their weapons. They discovered that although the membrane still contained tremendous power, universe masters could now pass through it safely. True treasure palaces immediately began entering the World of Jyn, including Luo Feng's Boat of Mausoleum, since the World of Jyn appeared to span 10 million light years. The great beings entered from different locations to avoid gathering together. After entering, Luo Feng sensed an indescribably comfortable force filling the world. His soul felt liberated, as though no restraints existed at all. Rampaging Devil God experienced the same exhilaration, realizing he could fully utilize all his godly power inside the World of Jyn. He descended onto an endless ancient land filled with mountains and rich energy that was far superior to the chaotic air of Universe Ocean. However, shortly after arriving, Rampaging Devil God encountered a terrifying giant beast with 3 heads and 3 barbed tails. The creature was also a Universe Supreme Master and immediately declared the land its territory, ordering Rampaging Devil God to leave. Although Rampaging Devil God could understand the creature's language naturally, he could not speak it himself. When he failed to respond properly, the giant beast believed it was being provoked and attacked. Rampaging Devil God attempted to transmit his thoughts using godly power, but the beast destroyed the transmission instantly and mistook it for a soul attack. Unable to communicate, Rampaging Devil God was forced into conflict. Meanwhile, Luo Feng safely landed on a vast plain. To avoid unnecessary risks, he carried only moderate equipment, including Crazy Demon Extermination godly armor, a pinnacle soul true treasure, and Blood Shadow Blade. He was astonished by the stability of the World of Jyn. The surrounding energy could be directly transformed into godly power with incredible ease. Unlike in the original universe where the law ocean was required, even his godly power fluctuations caused no distortions in space, demonstrating how stable the world was. Soon, Luo Feng encountered a child from the Dry Wilderness tribe. The child spoke the common language of the ancient civilization, the same language recorded in Duan Dong River's inheritance memories. Thanks to his inheritance, Luo Feng could communicate fluently. The child referred to Luo Feng as a traveler, and explained that only law knights could travel outside the tribe, which Luo Feng inferred were equivalent to universe knights, while law masters likely referred to universe masters. Inside the virtual universe, Luo Feng informed Primal Chaos City leader that the indigenous beings of the World of Jyn used the ancient civilization's common tongue. Primal Chaos City leader immediately realized this strongly suggested the World of Jyn was a remnant left behind by the ancient civilization itself. Explaining why secrets related to transcending reincarnation might exist there, he emphasized that mastering the language would be critical for interacting with the native inhabitants. As Luo Feng followed the child toward the dry wilderness tribe, he learned more about the world. Along the way, he witnessed gigantic beings fighting each other like gods, and quickly determined they were universe masters with perfect life gene levels. The child proudly explained that the tribe contained 1 billion creatures, and that all strong warriors became lawmasters only after endless combat and training. Luo Feng realized that even in the World of Jyn, becoming a universe master was still extremely difficult. As they continued traveling, Luo Feng suddenly detected 3 towering armored figures standing in the sky. Their overwhelming auras revealed they were true gods. Luo Feng was shocked that he had already encountered 3 true gods so soon after entering the World of Jyn. He realized the world was unimaginably powerful despite the fact that, according to the ancestral gods, its native creatures would instantly die if they entered Universe Ocean. Luo Feng concluded that the World of Jyn was heavily restricted by unique laws and that a tremendous secret lay hidden within it, making him far more cautious. Luo Feng arrived at the massive dry wilderness tribe, which had a population of 1 billion. Since travelers like him were common, the tribe's senior members did not personally receive him, though many nearby families warmly welcomed him. Numerous warriors challenged him to battles, making Luo Feng realize how obsessed the race was with fighting. On a towering mountain, rampaging devil god fought a strange giant beast. During the battle, he intentionally provoked the beast to force it to speak, allowing him to learn the language of the ancient civilization by analyzing the pronunciation and meanings of words. Within half an hour, he had already learned over 300 words. The giant beast became enraged and eventually called for reinforcements. Soon, 12 more true gods arrived and surrounded rampaging devil god, attempting to capture him because he possessed valuable armor. Meanwhile, Luo Feng fought warriors within the dry wilderness tribe. In one battle, he defeated a powerful warrior with a kick enhanced by golden light, impressing the tribe members and children watching nearby. Over 3 days, Luo Feng disguised himself as an ordinary wandering fighter while gathering information about the World of Jyn through conversations and combat. Luo Feng learned that the World of Jyn was unimaginably vast, with a diameter of at least 1 trillion light-years, much larger internally than it appeared from the outside. Countless tribes fought for territory and survival. Every native creature naturally became undying upon maturity because they absorbed the energies of the World of Jyn and mastered laws over time. Most could become law knights, but only 1 out of 100 ordinary warriors could become a lawmaster. True treasures were rare, and beings stronger than true gods also existed. The Dry Wilderness tribe itself possessed such a being named Dry Wilderness, the tribe leader who had surpassed true gods through incarnation transcendence. Luo Feng became excited after hearing this because it confirmed that beings capable of transcending reincarnation existed in the World of Jyn, validating the hopes of Universe Ocean's experts who sought opportunities there. After 6 days in the tribe, Luo Feng informed his friend Northern Wind that he planned to leave and join the military. Northern Wind was considered an extremely talented warrior with the potential to become a true god, and he and Luo Feng respected each other deeply after many battles. Luo Feng explained that the military was the best place for becoming stronger because it gathered the greatest beings in the World of Jyn. He had learned that the entire world was ruled by a single master called the Majesty of Godly King. The World of Jyn existed to cultivate warriors for this ruler, and only supreme beings chosen by him could leave the world and fight on his behalf. From the inheritance of Duan Dong River, Luo Feng knew the ancient civilization contained many different factions. He concluded that Wu, associated with Duan Dong River, and Jin, associated with the World of Jyn, were separate powers. Luo Feng further speculated that the enormous humanoid body discovered in Universe Ocean might actually be the dead Majesty of Godly King himself. The immense power of that body, capable of colliding with Universe Boat and destroying supreme true treasures with its shockwaves and aura, proved how terrifying the ancient civilization had been. Luo Feng realized that although the ancient civilization had perished, the inhabitants of the World of Jyn had survived. though they could never leave the world alive. The world of Jyn primarily existed to cultivate military forces. Lawmasters were periodically conscripted into the military, where they served for long periods before retirement. Those who avoided service were hunted throughout the entire world. The military was the strongest force in the world of Jyn and possessed countless inheritances and treasures. Supreme true treasures were treated merely as standard armor for true gods. However, the military was extremely ruthless, with fewer than 5% of recruits surviving its elimination process. Despite the danger, Luo Feng was determined to join because nearly all powerful beings, including those stronger than true gods, gathered within the military, and its core secrets were accessible only there. Confident due to his Duan-Dong River inheritance, Luo Feng believed he could secure a place. Northern Wind then decided to join the military as well so they could travel together.